You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Road Trance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about the Jets. We're going to talk about Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers. I almost didn't make this Derek Carr video, but I was like, you know what? There's a picture of him in a restaurant, and we got to show that, okay? We got to show that. For full disclosure, I still think it's a bad fit. Okay, I think Aaron Rodgers is your dude there with the Jets. I do. I think Tiki Barber is wrong about the idea that Aaron Rodgers and the New York media, Rodgers can't handle that. I think he would destroy New York media. I think Aaron Rodgers would step back and be like, I salivate the idea of comparing brain pans with these a-holes in the New York media. I truly believe that. I think it would be interesting. I think it would be a blast if they could get him for 2 years. Let's watch that. Okay? And the reason I'm talking about this is Derek Carr to the Jets is getting real. Okay, that's getting real, which is amazing. Now, he's still going to leave town, go on a couple of more visits. He's already been with the Saints down there. This was right prior to his release. And he may still go to the Saints because, you know, Dennis Allen was down there when Derek Carr got drafted by the Raiders. So that's a real connection. And then he's gonna look, the moment he sits down with Frank Reich, offensively, just the way Frank Reich's going to make him feel, Derek's a family man and all of that. You know, the Bible verses and all that stuff's going to start flowing. And that's going to resonate with Derek Carr. It is. So let's see where we're at, because Jeff Darlington, you know, as we know, it's getting real. Jeff Darlington, absolutely one of the best guys in the business. You know, he was right there. He was the guy that broke the Brady to Tampa Bay news originally. As locked in as anybody as far as insiders go. Like, if you gave me a choice between Rappaport and Schefter or Darlington, I'm going to go Darlington. I'm just letting you know right now, okay? From the standpoint of likability and just having that true inside knowledge, the players love Jeff Darlington, okay? The Jets, quotes, really believe that former Raiders QB Derek Carr is the type of quarterback that can lead them to a championship, per at Jeff Darlington on Get Up on ESPN this morning. Carr's meeting with New York was, quote, very positive and went well. That's Dov Cleveman there. Yeah, I like Dov. He's a good follow, guys. Check this out. This is from an Italian restaurant, as we say here in East Texas. Italian restaurant in New York. There is Derek Carr right there. And Saleh was there. Coordinator Downing was there. That's right. And there's Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett rocking a camouflage cap in a New York Italian restaurant. I mean, hats off. Hats off. That's some good old boy shit if there ever was. Got to give Nathaniel Hackett some credit for that. I appreciate those kind of little tidbits. This is Darlington.
We obviously know that there's a decision to be made there. So, conversations that are going to be happening in Florham Park this week, because this one is getting extremely interesting. Derek Carr visiting with the team, and I'm told that it was a very positive meeting, that the Jets really believe that Derek Carr is the type of quarterback that can lead them to a potential championship. They also believe that the meeting went really well. Here's the rub, though. Aaron Rodgers still lingers, and the team also remains fascinated in the possibility of adding him. So,
amen.
Why is that a problem? The timeline. Right now, we're looking at a situation where Aaron Rodgers hasn't even gone to the Packers to say whether he wants to be traded. We don't know if the Packers would be willing to trade him.
Oh, but don't we? Don't we? Okay? Here's a little follow-up to the video I did the other day, and it is amazing how many Aaron Rodgers fans hoping and praying he stays with the Packers, which is odd because there's an entire faction of Packers fans that are completely done with Rodgers. They're done with the lack of off-season program involvement. They're done with the will he, won't he part. Will he stay, won't he stay? Will he be committed if he does stay? Man, he didn't play great last year. So you now have Packer fans literally feuding with each other over the idea of Aaron Rodgers staying with the team. Okay? Some people called that report the other day fake news, and I tried to tell people, look, when you've got a beat writer who knows people inside the Green Bay Packers because he's covering the team for 30 years, like McGinn, who broke the story the other day, that there's people inside the Packers, actual brass. I still contend, and this is only speculation, but I contend that it's Mark Murphy, the CEO, or Gutekunst, that have come out and said they're disgusted with Aaron Rodgers and they're done with Aaron Rodgers. So now we have this report right here. The Packers GM reportedly made telling comment about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has yet to decide if he wants to play for the Green Bay Packers next season. But there are many who believe the team will trade the star quarterback even if he continues his career. We now have another big indicator that the Packers may be ready to move on. According to Tom Silverstein of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst said late last season, okay, he's saying the general manager said the following late last season, that he felt it was time for the Packers to see what they have in former first-round pick Jordan Love. Quote, at one point late last season, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst told an NFL colleague he was convinced it was time the organization move on from quarterback Aaron Rodgers and see what Jordan Love had in him. So in other words, ready to go. They want to see what they got. Gutekunst has obviously not sent the same message publicly. He's not going to. He said after the season they can envision a scenario where both Love and Rodgers return to the Packers and Love spends a fourth year as a backup. The story I did the other day, okay, I didn't make that story up. It didn't come up out of nowhere. Somebody called it clickbait yesterday afternoon. I was like, really? A literal beat writer that has been covering the Packers in and out of the locker room, in and out of the building, a guy that sits down, talks to the coach, talks to the general manager, talks to Mark Murphy, talks to the quarterback, talks to the team on a daily basis. You think he just decided to make that up out of thin air? You know why that's not the case? Because they wouldn't let his ass continue to cover the Packers in and out of the building. You notice the Packers have not come out with a statement vehemently denying that report? Of course they haven't. It was true. They're done with Aaron Rodgers. They're disgusted by him. Okay? Again, I contend that maybe even part of the Pat McAfee interview the other day where he talked about the Chinese spy balloon and this and that and the other. And look, if you're a leftist, if you're somebody that leans left politically, like somebody in that Packers organization that's way up they may be done. They may view Aaron Rodgers as some conspiracy theorist, nutbag guy, and they want to get him away from the organization. I don't believe that about Aaron Rodgers. In fact, I like Aaron Rodgers more after last week than I did the week before. I do. He's a free thinker, and he thinks outside the box, and I have a lot of appreciation for that. All right. Do I think he always puts everything he needs to into his team? Like with off-season program? No, I've been vocal about the fact I think he should be locked in, and he should be all over the off-season stuff. And if he goes to a new team, I think it's crucial. All right. Now, Derek Carr. It just makes more sense for Derek Carr to go to the Saints or go to the Panthers. It's the NFC, and look, with a quarterback like Derek Carr on the Panthers, like quarterback like Derek Carr on the Saints. And look, both teams have talent. The Panthers and Saints both have real defenses. They both play in weak-ass divisions. Whoever of the two land him make the other team clearly better than the other team. And Tom Brady's not in the division anymore. In all likelihood, whichever team lands Derek Carr in the NFC South will win the NFC South. Derek Carr with the Jets, is that a guarantee to win the AFC East? Is it? Because Bill O'Brien is back with the Patriots. Mac Jones is about to bounce back. He is. You might as well get ready. Mac Jones is throwing 25 or 30 touchdowns next year. Okay? Patriots defense will still be solid. All of a sudden, that Patriots team that didn't win as many games is going to mess around and win 10, 11 games next year. The Bills, they're going to win 11 games. Okay? So that division's going to be tough. And you're going to need an Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback of the New York Jets. By the way, all of that said, if the Packers would allow Aaron Rodgers to go in the NFC, there's a bunch of teams he could help win their divisions too. Niners, Panthers, Saints, Buccaneers. All of them would probably win their division, no question, with Aaron Rodgers. But they don't want to trade him inside the conference, right? So that goes the same way. And then, of course, out there floating around is Jimmy Garoppolo, and there'll be much more Garoppolo talk once we actually get him officially, on the market, doing visits, whatever. Somebody's laying in the weeds right now on Garoppolo, and my guess is they're already talking. They've got Don Yee. I figure it's the Raiders or the Buccaneers, but it could be somebody else that we don't know about. Could be the Jets, Panthers, Saints. They're all in. They're all going to be in. I contend the Falcons should be in on somebody, but they're not, right? And what the hell are the Colts doing? But I think the Colts are going to be scared off by what they did involving Ryan and Wentz in the veteran market, which they probably shouldn't be scared off by that, but they will be. All right? I don't love where the NFL draft sets at quarterback this year. Next year, yeah. This year, I'm afraid some guys are being elevated that maybe shouldn't be as elevated as. And you want to talk about inexact science. Look at what was supposed to be a massively great quarterback class. Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. The only surefire guy right now is Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones has flashed like a guy that can be the guy. Justin Fields has now flashed like a guy that could be the guy. I'm not so sure the Bears don't trade him. I mean, the GM just come right out and said he couldn't throw. So I wanted to do a video. I wanted to follow up. I wanted to talk about Derek Carr. I don't think Derek Carr's a great fit in with the Jets. I can't believe that this Jets Derek Carr thing is progressing all of a sudden. It seems really fast, and the Jets seem to really like him. And I don't know if that means that behind the scenes, Aaron Rodgers has let the Jets know he's not going to them. He wants to go somewhere else. And if that's the case, where are you going to be able to go in the AFC? In the AFC. I mean, where are you going to go? The only other place is going to be the Raiders. And unless Rodgers has secretly already made that deal by way of Devontae Adams, I don't know. Jets just Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers, it just makes a lot of sense. It does. I had to touch on the Derek Carr thing since we hadn't went full bore into a video really and truly on Derek Carr and his situation, and the fact that Gutekunst came out and said, he thinks it's time to go to Jordan Love, which coincides very much with the video I put out the other day. It just made sense to make another video. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Man, the way that the NFL is turning out involving quarterbacks, because Lamar Jackson's still sort of floating around drama-wise out there. Garoppolo, next year it could be the same thing with Lamar Jackson if he doesn't go somewhere this year. It's just really interesting. The quarterback movement is starting to be between coaching and quarterback movement. This whole thing is going to be interesting year in, year out. And what happens with Kirk Cousins? Everybody's acting like Kirk Cousins might not just randomly get traded. I'm not so sure about that. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.